Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, blogtalk Radio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now. WHRADIO.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WrestlingHeads Radio. I am Skits, and I'm live here with Oscar and Tom. What is going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, man? I just witnessed a takeover last night, and tomorrow night it's a DDT4.
Yeah, you know what? Every time PWG comes around, I'm always excited. And I'm over on the East Coast, so what does that tell you about PWG, where I'm across the country, and I'm excited for it?
Yeah, man. Speaking of DDT4, we have a participant part of DDT4, Mr. SpeedBall Mike Bailey. What is going on, man?
Yes, sir. I'm good. How are you guys?
Everything's good, man. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, man. DDT4 tomorrow. You were originally supposed to be in a one-on-one match against Johnny Gargano, which I was looking forward to because I know you guys would have tore the house down. But earlier on today, PWG tweeted out that Chris Sabin is out due to injury, and you're going to replace him and tag up with Matt Sydal in DDT4, man. Talk to us about it, and are you looking forward to tagging up, or did you want to face Johnny Gargano in the one-on-one?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Johnny Gargano. I know he's good. I've been watching his matches for a long time now, and I was really excited to fight him. Also, I'm more of a singles guy. I've done a lot more singles matches than I have tag matches. So I was sort of looking forward to that. Now I'm being put in a tournament, which is, it's sort of off-putting just 2 days in advance, but my partner is Matt Sydal, who's been one of my, I'm 24 years old. I probably started really getting into wrestling back when, just before he started in Ring of Honor, and I remember his series of matches with Delirious and all that, and his early stuff, and when I started wrestling, he was really one of the guys I was trying to emulate, you know what I mean? So it's a really big deal for me to get the team with him. It's pretty awesome. I'm excited.
And just by watching both of you guys' styles together, it's going to be insane out there watching you guys, because I have a front row, and I know I'm going to have to watch out because you guys might dive right in front of me.
We probably will. We probably will. We both have a history of diving to the floor pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm going to pass a question on to my co-host, Oscar, who's also going to be at PWG. Go for it, Oscar.
Yeah, definitely. It's funny, 2 nights ago, my uncle actually watched Don't Sweat the Technique, and his match with Trevor Lee was coming up next, and then with Trevor Lee.
That match was insane.
Yeah, that was the match of the night, and I told my uncle, watch this match. And then maybe 20 minutes later, I heard holy shit, heard a holy shit. And then in my mind, I was thinking, okay, it's the apron spot. No, go ahead.
No, which is great. I'm very happy with that spot that got so much exposure of the internet.
Yeah, definitely, and that was a great spot, and that was the match of the night, hands down. But Yeah. My first question I want to ask you about your beginnings of your career. Like, how did it all start? What made you decide to become a pro wrestler, and how did you get into business?
Yeah, man, I've been a fan of wrestling ever since I was like, I think when I was 7 years old, I started watching, and when I was 8, me and my brother decided to fucking get our mattresses off of our beds and start wrestling on them in our bedrooms. So, like, ever since then, like, after that, like, when I was probably 8, there was no question in my mind whether I'd be a pro wrestler or not. I mean, it's what I was gonna do, and I sort of, like, I never really had a plan, and later on, you know, you start, when I grew up, I started looking at jobs, you know, but even though always in the back of my mind knowing I'd do pro wrestling. But yeah, I started training in Quebec when I was probably 15. Yeah, I think like soon after my 15th birthday I started training. And Quebec is a pretty weird place to wrestle because it's really isolated, right? Because of the whole language barrier thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like probably the first 4 years of wrestling I did, there was very little traveling to elsewhere, and it was mostly in church basements where tickets were only $5 and no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did that for a long time.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, current NXT champion Kevin Owens was trained in Quebec, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
That's right.
Yeah, he was trained by Jacques Rougeau, former
he was.
WWE. Yeah, and I heard the stories before. Like, he said that he was trained under a barn, and that's how they would train him.
Yeah, believe it or not, Jacques Rougeau's school was probably the biggest wrestling school in Quebec, like by far at that time, and it was in a barn in the middle of nowhere, and just, you know, and they put on these weird shows. It's pretty crazy stuff. Very hard to become a pro wrestler in Quebec. Probably 8 years ago. Now a couple of schools have opened up, and it's not as bad, but back then, Jesus Christ. You had to really want it.
So where did you actually get trained at then?
I got trained at the at NWF, it was called. It was in Valleyfield, Quebec. But when I started, it wasn't really like, I wasn't really taking wrestling classes. It's more like I was going a day early to help set up the ring, and then I got to play around, you know, in the ring with some of the other wrestlers. We're just trying out spots and hanging out, you know, just sort of improvising matches there, and, you know. But I never did a wrestling class per se. I never went to a wrestling school, and I never had a trainer in that sense.
Oh, okay. All right. That's an interesting story. Was there any thought in your head that about heading to the Jacques Rougeau school at all, or what was it that school you just mentioned you feel was the best way to get into the business?
The Jacques Rougeau Wrestling School is absurdly expensive.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the shows he put on, but it's family wrestling, he calls it, right? And there's no kicks or punches. It's all very weird stuff. So, like, if you really want to learn pro wrestling, you're better off just going and doing the regular indie shows and the regular indie circuit.
Yeah, because I heard Kevin on Steve Austin's podcast, like maybe a year ago. He did mention about how Jacques Rougeau runs his school and his shows. I mean, it's like what you were saying, like family, like a family type show, and that's how he did the show. But he said he learned a lot from Jacques Rougeau, and look at him now. He's in NXT and he's the NXT champion. So things are going great for him. But yeah, that's pretty good. Hopefully, you know, you're still young in the business, and let's see what happens down the road. You know.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pass it to Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, before we mentioned your match against Trevor Lee at Don't Sweat the Technique, which I recommend everyone going out and checking that out because it was a hell of a match.
It's ridiculous. Oh my God! Like you like You're making me want to go watch this match right after we're done with the show.
Go watch it. Once we're done with this, we're all going to go watch it again. But obviously the big spot in the match was the reverse Hurricane Rana on the ring apron, which a lot of people liked, but then there was a large group of people who didn't really like it because of the danger involved in that spot. When you do a big spot like that where the risk of being injured gets heightened tremendously, does that go through your mind? Do you think, well, maybe I shouldn't do this, or is it, okay, we have to do this because it's going to get people hyped up and it's going to add to the match?
Well, no, and keeping in mind that wrestling's real and all that, when you do things like that, it's because you know you can. Like, I don't just go and do the big spots like that without having, thought about it or considered the risks, It's, strangely, all the injuries I've had from wrestling happened on the little things. Like, it's never doing flips off the top rope you get injured. It's always, off an elbow strike or just running the ropes, It's when people do things like that, generally they've calculated the risks, and we know what we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah, I just think a lot of people, I can see where people are coming from because of the past of wrestlers landing on their head, and I think all it takes is one time for it to happen, but I think sometimes people forget that, you guys know what you're doing. I think people just think that, accidents can't happen.
But isn't it also pretty much the point for it to look scary?
Yeah. I mean, I marked out because that was crazy, but, it was insane. And we also were just recently talking about Kevin Owens, and I think the match that really, got people to notice you outside of Canada was your match against Kevin Owens at C4 Wrestling. Talk about that match and the reception you got from after that match.
It was pretty crazy, and it was a great feeling because everyone knew that Kevin was getting signed and was gonna, leave shortly. So just to be on his list, I was, as well as Trevor Lee, of the guys he was gonna wrestle in the, in a couple of weeks before he left. Was a good feeling that he'd consider us for that. But also the guy is just so good, and he never has a bad match, and just the opportunity of getting to wrestle him and knowing that I'm going to learn from him is just, it's awesome.
Without a doubt. And I know you've been a mainstay at C4 Wrestling for a couple of years, and a lot of people, I think, outside of Canada don't really get to see it as much. It's available on Smart Mark Video, but I don't think C4 Wrestling gets a lot of the exposure. So I want you to talk about what C4 Wrestling is like to the people that have never seen it before.
Well, yeah, and it's pretty sad because, it doesn't get seen for the only reason that it's in Canada, but the shows are on par with any other of the top indie wrestling shows out there, all the Dreamwaves or CZW or all that. The shows are just as good. It's just people you don't know. There's so many guys from Montreal and from Toronto that are, should be and would have their place in PWG or CZW or Ring of Honor, but are just, they're not known, so they don't get there. But it's probably, C4 is probably the best wrestling show in Canada, bar maybe. Well, there's Smash in Toronto, there's IWS in Montreal, which are all very good, but C4 just has a special place in my heart. Probably because it's really the first places that started giving me the, good opponents and, pairing me with people like Kevin Steen, where I really got to learn more than I did anywhere else.
Without a doubt, and I think what's really helped C4 Wrestling has been these raw alternative streams that Beyond Wrestling has been hosting, because now I see people mentioning C4 Wrestling a lot more than beforehand, and I think that's been really helping on the exposure of C4 Wrestling.
Right, which is time, because the shows are that good. People just don't know about them.
Definitely, without a doubt. And I know I've been getting more into C4 Wrestling. I try to get as many shows as I can, and you get the same, I think, PWG type atmosphere, but in Canada.
Right.
And it's just crazy how much talent there is in Canada that may not be able to come to the States, or that we don't get to see here in the States.
Right.
but definitely.
Yeah, it's the same atmosphere as PWG, where the fans are really there to see wrestling, and they appreciate what people do for them. So it's cool. It's a really cool thing.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. All right, Skits, I'm gonna throw it back to you now.
Yeah, man. Just run a PWG subject. The person who took your spot in that Johnny Gargano match is he's basically a PWG vet. TJ Perkins, who you will also be facing soon at Evolve.
That's right.
Talk
on
to
May,
us about
May 30th.
that match. Yeah, on May 30th.
Man, he's another guy that incorporates the whole martial arts aspect into wrestling, and I think our styles are just gonna mesh very well together, and then it should be something awesome.
Yeah, it's like I've noticed like all the people that you've been paired up with lately is like these are like great bookings. This is like something that a fan would like book, like myself, like because like the match of you and Trevor, like that's something that I would definitely have wanted to see, and with you and TJ now going at it, you guys match well together, and even know that you're teaming up with Matt Sydal. That's something that I would love to see soon in PWG too. There's like a lot of folks that I can name right now who I would love to see you guys go at it. Like you and Ricochet would be nuts. You and Andrew Everett would be nuts. Like there's a lot of guys, but you and Perkins going at Evolve is gonna be nuts though.
Right. I feel like since I started wrestling PWG, there obviously a lot more people have gotten to know me, right? So there's a lot more people calling for matches like that. I'm sure people have tweeted at PWG that they wanted to see me with Trevor Lee probably after my first match. I think that happened a couple of times. So the people ask for it, and they're bound to get it.
Yeah, and not just PWG, like Evolve and CZW. Like you've been booked there too. Is there any other promotions that you want to work with?
There's a bunch I want to work with. It's just a matter of who contacts me first, and and scheduling. I've been really busy lately, so it's hard to go everywhere I want. But yeah, there's so many places, man.
Right, definitely. Go ahead, Oscar.
Yes, sticking with the subject of PWG, I know today it was just news to all of us that you were originally was supposed to wrestle Johnny Gargano, but now you're teaming up with Sydal, which I'm going to be honest, anybody listened on Monday's show, I actually lied to Biff Busick. He asked us who was the favorites in the tournament, and then we all lied. I mean, I lied to him and said, okay, you and Gulak was winning, but my actual pick was going to be Sydal and Saban. Now that Saban's out, I'm hoping that's my pick is still there to win the whole thing now that you're teaming up with Matt Sydal. But now I'm going to ask you this. How does it feel to enter a tournament, which has been going on for years? Teams like the Best Friends, Super Smash Brothers, and the Young Bucks participating in this tournament. Now, how do you feel being a part of this tournament?
I'm pretty obviously I'm excited. It's a big thing, and I'm sure the tournaments in the previous years still get watched by people, right? It's a kind of thing that sort of stays around for a long, long time because it's that awesome. So the fact that I'm gonna actually take part in that, and it's probably gonna leave something behind. That's what gets me the most excited.
Yeah, definitely. And which tomorrow night I will be there, and this is gonna be my third DDT4 I'm gonna witness in person. So yeah, I've seen some teams in there, like I said, Super Smash Brothers and Young Bucks, and yeah, I'm just going there and have a good time, and hopefully everybody's listening is going to the show, or if they cannot afford to go, then Can't wait to come on DVD because we know it's going to be a good show. That's how PWG, dude. It's going to be a good show. You know, it's like it's almost saying it's like it's impossible saying this show is going to suck or hope it's good. Good to be good. You know. So.
Oh hey man, they really try to book the best wrestlers in if not the world, at least North America. So can't really have a bad show with that.
To me, about PWG, it's like I live in California. You know, out here in California, there's no like Alpha One, there's no Ring of Honor, there's no Evolve here in California. But I just feel like for PWG, it's the only opportunity for us that's resident in California or on the West Coast to witness talents like yourself, Biff Busick, Matt Sydal. You know, like guys we don't see that much often here, and like those guys or up in Canada get to witness a lot. You know, this is the only chance we witness to see you guys. So that's how I take PWG. You know.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pass it back to Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, speaking of tournaments, earlier this year, you, of course, won CZW Best of the Best 2015, a tournament which has been notorious in CZW with winners like Adam Cole, Sami Callihan, Trent Acid, B-Boy. How was it for you to win CZW Best of the Best and join those names that I just mentioned? And also because you only debuted for CZW back only in 2014, so it's only your second year technically in the company. How was it for you winning that tournament?
That's right. It was pretty awesome, right? And it was, I made my debut at CZW's Best of the Best the year before, right? So, and that was really like, and after that match, that was when they told me like they wanted to use me regularly, which was pretty big for me coming out of Quebec. That there's actually a Fed in the U.S. that would be, you know, willing to monthly get you down to New Jersey to wrestle for you. So, you know, that was a big part of, that was big for my career, you know. So just the fact that I would even get to win, you know, the best of the best was just that much more amazing. Plus, all the guys that were in the tournament, all the guys that I got to wrestle in that tournament, like C.J. Parker and John Grisham, who were both tremendous, and Andrew Everett and Bucks Belmar. So, you know, just I feel like that tournament too was probably the best show CW put on since I've been there. Like, it was all in all, my matches excluded, an awesome show. Feels great to be part of that, man.
Without a doubt, I definitely enjoyed that show, and I think a lot of people enjoy Best of the Best because it kind of stems away from the typical mindset that fans have of CZW, that it's just all this hardcore and deathmatch and all that, and then you watch Best of the Best tournament and you're like, my God, these are some of the best high flyers and some of the best guys on the indie scene going at it, and it kind of changes it. So it was big for you, I think, to win that. How was it facing CJ Parker? You know, he's fresh off of leaving WWE, and he comes into CZW, and he's wearing his NXT zip-up sweater, and he's, you know, cursing at the fans. How was it getting in the ring with CJ Parker?
Right. It was great. It's funny how motivated he was, and how I feel I won't mention names, but there's been some guys who just, you know, got out of their contract on TV, and just their attitude was sort of, I'm going to go make some easy money in the indies, right? But C.J. Parker was the total opposite of that. He was there, and he was going to work his ass off, and he knew it, and he was, you know, he was excited that he was going to get to do something different, you know? So it was really, really awesome to see someone with that attitude, you know?
It was, and, you know, I got to say, I was a little hesitant going into the match between you and him because I didn't know how you guys would mesh, you know, kind of different styles, even though you both kind of use the striking aspect. You're more of a high flyer, but I was really surprised, and I mean, I really enjoyed that match. That might have been one of my favorite matches of that whole tournament.
Awesome.
All right, Skip, you're back up, buddy.
Yeah, speaking of tournaments, I know we're only in May, but August, and I'm pretty sure PWG's definitely got to put you in this tournament, but Battle of Los Angeles. Last year was crazy. We had guys like AJ Styles in the tournament. You had Brian Myers in there, Biff Busick, the list goes on, Ricochet, Kyle O'Reilly. This year is going to be a whole new look because some of those guys can't come back to PWG due to contracts.
Right.
Are you familiar with the Bola tournament?
That's right. Of course I am. Believe me, I've when I found out I was gonna get to work for PWG, I studied up on my history.
Yeah, basically just talking about this tournament, just talk to us basically about some of your favorites Bola attorneys.
I really gotta say last year's was probably their best with Michael Elgin and Trevor Lee and all that. I really think that was my favorite one. And it's always just such a big thing. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all the best wrestlers in the world gathering up together, and it lasts 3 days, and it's it has the feel of a festival to it. If you know what I mean. Like it's a pretty crazy thing that there's going to be 3 wrestling shows and 3 days in a row happening of that caliber.
Yeah, because I remember me and Oscar and Tom kind of had this conversation. Like, this is kind of like the new class of PWG because majority of the guys that were in PWG are like doing new like things. With you yourself, you got Monster Mafia, you got the Beaver Boys, and I don't know who else is going to come in because I'm pretty sure PWG's got more guys coming in. Trevor Lee, Everett. I'm pretty sure you guys can definitely top last year's tournament.
Right. The only thing I really hope is that Kenny Omega gets to come down and I get to wrestle him. That would make me really happy.
That would be nuts. That would be nuts. That's something that whoever's listening to the show, I'm pretty sure we need to go ahead and tweet PWG that so we can get Kenny Omega down from New Japan to make a visit to Reseda to go against Mike Bailey for Bola this year because it's going to be something else.
Sure.
But I already know I'm kind of talking about Bola super early, but just basically just super excited about it, man. But go ahead, Oscar.
All right, Mike. My next question I'd like to ask you. This is a solo show. We're talking about your accomplishments or shows you're going to be participating. Now I'd like to ask you, what is your next path of accomplishments you like to do? Like what's your next type of goal? Is another country you like to perform in is in your mind? Is it a big promotion you like to work for down the road? Like, what is the set of goals you have coming up that you like to accomplish?
For me, 90% of the fun with wrestling is to travel. So I've been really looking at Europe recently, and there's a lot of places I want to wrestle for in Europe, and that's really what I'm hoping happens next. The long-term goal for me in wrestling is really just to make money traveling and doing what I like. So just definitely like the furthest away from Canada and America that I can get, that's the better.
Yeah, it's what about Japan? Is it Japan something like maybe hopefully perform in either New Japan, Noah, All Japan, or maybe even a Dragon Gate if you like to maybe do?
Right. Dragon Gate is probably like the one of my favorite places to watch the shows. So I'd love to wrestle for them. New Japan has been on fire lately, so of course I'd love to wrestle for these places just to
New Japan would be crazy because, you got the best of Super Juniors tonight, which would be nuts if you were in it. But,
That's right.
yeah.
That
would be a crazy tournament.
It would be nice, maybe you guys didn't even realize, but I think it would be nice to see Mike Bailey in a Noah ring going against Zack Sabre Jr. in a Noah ring. I think that would be nice to see in there. And
that'd be anywhere, to be honest with you.
Anywhere, but I don't know. For some reason I just like to see in a Noah ring. It's like that's more like it's like almost like a sports type thing. Like Mike Bailey's a visitor, and you're going against Zack Saber's home in Noah. So I that's something like a different atmosphere I like to see. I mean, that would be something I love to see if they're ever booked in. So hopefully Noah could bring it down in the future.
Hey man, I'd love to. I think for everyone who's starting to wrestle, sort of in the back of their mind, always wants to go to Japan, because that's one of the countries where they're the most passionate about their pro wrestling.
Definitely, it's huge out there. Yeah, in Japan, it's huge out there. Pro wrestling is huge. Like maybe I want to see it here in America. Like football is probably the biggest thing here in America. But in Japan, it's like you can walk around the streets, people will recognize you. You can even try to. So good luck. That's how it is out there. All right. I'm putting up to that time.
Yeah. 2015 for you, Mike, has been, I would say, a huge year so far, and I don't think we're even at the halfway point of 2015 yet. Has it been a little bit overwhelming for you how much I think success and notoriety is already coming your way when you spend a couple of years, I would say, 2009, 2000 to 2011, you were just kind of mainstaying in Canada, didn't really get that break yet, and then all of a sudden you have people tweeting you every single day about your matches and how, and how much they like you, and you're getting more Twitter followers and you're getting more bookings. So has it been kind of overwhelming for you, or are you kind of taking it with stride?
It's been really awesome, but right now I'm more focused on keeping the momentum going than anything else. You know what I mean? I'm not taking time to take this all in. I'm just trying to go forward and ride the wave.
Definitely. And for a young guy like you, does it kind of boost your confidence a little bit that you're like, I'm still young, not even close to the peak of my career, and I'm getting all this notoriety, and I'm getting more bookings now, and now, the wave of success is just beginning?
It's good, but nothing compares to the effort I put in doing all this, right? So like I really, it's just about training harder and trying to stay in good shape and so I can keep going. You know what I mean? So there's really no time to think about anything else and just try hard and put on a great performance, and you know what I mean? Just stay on top. You know what I mean?
I could see it, and I think it depends on the person. Some people like getting more attention, but then some people are kind of like you, more laid back, and then you have all this stuff coming at you. You have people tweeting at you every day where they're seeing matches and they're demanding, merch to come out, and then they want to support you more than ever. So I don't know. I think it depends on the person, but I can see where it comes from your perspective.
Right. That's the last thing I want to do is sort of get caught up in my own hype and, start thinking that I'm good and, not trying anymore as hard as I do, because I know the only reason I've accomplished, what little I've accomplished in wrestling is because I try really hard, and I always show up and give 100%.
Definitely, without a doubt. I actually just had a buddy just text me, and this is a little bit of a silly question, but of course, I think a lot of people point out that you're one of the few wrestlers that go out there without boots on. Was that something intentional that you wanted to do? Is it just part of your style? Did you do it to separate yourself, or do you just prefer it that way?
No, I just prefer it that way. I think one of you guys mentioned earlier that he'd done Taekwondo as well, right?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, right. So, right, you train barefoot like every day. I train barefoot several hours a day. You don't really wear shoes to kick. It's not really the most ideal thing. It sort of makes it uncomfortable. So, and I've been doing this since I was little. So my body is used to being barefoot and not having any extra weight around my feet. So it just makes it awkward when I do so. Just in order to be as mobile as I can, I don't wear shoes.
Do you sometimes get a little bit more fearful that you'll bend a toe or break a toe off of something, or is it just you know you're going to be comfortable without boots on?
I'd be more scared of messing up my movements if I had a boot or something heavy on my foot. But yeah, I've broken all my toes pretty much a couple of times, so I'm not worried about that anymore,
Definitely, but I see a lot of people praising the whole Taekwondo-esque stuff that you bring out there and all the aspects that you bring. So definitely separates you. So keep it going. I definitely like it. Because I did Taekwondo. So keep it going.
Well, yeah. Well, I've been doing martial arts for so long that it's sort of in me now. So I don't even think I could change it if I wanted to.
Yeah, and I think that's something that really separates you because people see you as a high flyer, but then there's people that see you as more of a striking aspect, and you kind of combine those in that way.
Crazy.
I think that really kind of sets you apart from a lot of the high flyers that are out there right now in the indie scene. Was that something that you always wanted? Was to kind of incorporate the high flying, but then also the martial arts aspect?
Right, yeah, it has. Because there's so many great high flyers out there. Like, I know I could never do what Andrew Everett or Ricochet do. You know what I mean? If I didn't have martial arts to go along with that, then I'd just be like a pale imitation. But now at least I get something different to bring along.
Without a doubt, and keep it going because you're doing great things. So I think it's only just going to get better from here on out.
Thanks, man.
All right, back to you, man.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow. DDT4, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Bailey will be teaming up with Matt Sydal. I was wishing him and Johnny Gargano. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen down the line at PWG. Mike, before we let you go, you want to give out some social medias, maybe your pro wrestling tees, if you have one?
I don't have one. All I have is a Twitter at SpeedBall Bailey. If you wanna tweet anything at me, please do. Feel free. I'll answer anything. I like to talk to people on there, so just hit me up when you'd like.
Yeah, man. We want to thank you for being on the show, and hopefully me and Oscar, we can meet you tomorrow.
Yep, it's my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me on, and hopefully we'll see each other tomorrow.
Thanks, bro.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was SpeedBall Mike Bailey. Tomorrow he'll be at DDT4, like I said. Looking forward to see him in action tomorrow. Good dude, and I know he's got a great career ahead of himself.
Yeah, the guy is I want to say he's just, 24, and I think there's plenty of time for him to accomplish a lot of things. 2015 is probably his best year in his career, but who knows what's going to happen next year or the year after, more great things can happen to the guy,
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's funny because at the end of last year, at the end of 2014, we were talking a lot about Trevor Lee being a breakout star of the Indies for that year. And now you look at what Mike Bailey's done so far in 2015, and I know we're not even close to the end of 2015, but he's already my breakout star for the Indies. I mean, the guy is he's tearing it up everywhere.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break, and we got a lot to talk about. We got some NXT to talk about. We got DDT4 to talk about. We have New Japan, AIW, there's a lot of talk going on Twitter with AIW's owner and CM Punk right now. We'll get that in a minute.
And, hello, friends. This is Matt Seidel. You are using your brain and listening to Wrestling Heads. Respect.
My name is Rich Swan, and we're at PWG, but you are now listening to the WrestlingHeads Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drew Gulak, and you are listening to Wrestling Heads Podcast.
Don't stop believing!
Oh man, I think there's a certain company who could definitely use some believing.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot to talk about. We have some NXT to talk about, PWG, AIW, New Japan, but I wanted to get this out of the way because it's all over Twitter and it's happening. But I just kind of want to get it out of the way right off the bat. This whole TNA thing, of course. The reports from Dave Meltzer coming out on the latest Wrestling Observer.
I thought you were going. You know what? I thought you were going to something else that was on Twitter. I thought you were going to CM Punk.
Oh no. We'll get to the other thing, but
go
so of course on the latest Wrestling Observer by Dave Meltzer, he has reported that in September, Destination America is going to be canceling TNA. Now, there's so many people, even TNA talent, that are reporting that this is false, and you know what? It's making me laugh so much because this is the same exact thing that happened last year when Dave Meltzer reported about Spike TV not renewing TNA. All the TNA personnel and TNA superstars were like, "Well, don't believe the rumors. Spike TV and TNA are still talking," and look what happened. I just find this whole situation hilarious that TNA, not TNA supporters, but the diehards are just find any way to bash Dave Meltzer on his reports. And, I stated this on Twitter. Dave Meltzer has been reporting for wrestling since the 1970s. He was named, I think, by Sports Illustrated as one of the best journalists in professional sports because he does wrestling and MMA. So the guy knows what he's doing. That's why he's the first source that WWE goes to. WWE talks to this guy probably more than anybody else. So I just find it so hilarious that TNA diehards, TNA superstars, TNA personnel decide to go after Dave Meltzer and defend TNA to the death. And it's going to make them look even worse. And, I guess it was about TNA.
It's not just that report. Let's not forget Eric Bischoff and two other people. I think Garrett Bischoff and somebody else trying to sue TNA. Like, TNA is in the shithole right now.
Yeah. It's all because of money. There's always rumors that, that TNA is not, or pretty much are lagging of paying not only wrestlers, but the production crew and whatever, pretty much any employee of TNA is pretty much getting lag of payments. And, it's sad to see. It's actually sad to hear this because there's one point that TNA was really good and I enjoyed watching, but I'm sure some of the talents, like Austin Aries, Eric Young, they'll find work. But you gotta also think the backstage crew, the ring crew members, what the hell they're gonna do, So that's the only thing that sucks about it. If TNA is going, on down to the grave, this is how I feel about TNA right now. I feel like they're on thin ice, but with only standing on one foot. That's how I see TNA now. I mean, which network is gonna freaking want to bring TNA in now? Now they lost Spike, and now they Destination America. What's the network going to do?
Nobody.
Yeah, and that sucked. But I'm going to say this right now. If I was the WWE, and if TNA does go out of business, I will purchase their library in a heartbeat and put all their stuff on the network. And here's why. I'll tell you why. Because, we heard the news last night that Samoa Joe, just got in, and then you purchase his library, and then that kind of shows you more reason why you could bring in a guy like an AJ Styles or maybe the Addiction, That'll show you more reason why to bring him in. And then let me ask you guys a question on this, okay? Let's just say they do that. They buy the library of TNA. They start selling DVDs of TNA, doing TNA specials on the WWE Network. And then they sign AJ Styles, kind of like a Sting contract. Would you guys see guys like AJ or Samoa Joe in the WWE Hall of Fame due to their TNA success?
No.
No?
I don't even see AJ Styles
for the
reason.
WWE. Look at, WWE purchased WCW and ECW, and how many guys have you seen from those two companies going to the Hall of Fame? I don't know, guys like Raven, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, RVD. Are we going to see those guys? Probably RVD, but, you look at WCW, you look at the big names from there. Is Vader ever going to be in the Hall of Fame? Because he was a big mainstay in WCW. I think I don't know, this whole TNA thing, listen, it sucks. Because as much as people love to get on TNA and they bash them, which a lot of it is rightfully so, a lot of it is just people bashing TNA just to bash TNA, which is not the right approach. But
yeah,
it's just that, TNA has gotten to the point where they can't admit, not total defeat, but they can't admit when they have problems. You still have people saying that they're not going to go out of Destination America, even though there's reports coming out, because they did the same thing last year when all the Spike TV negotiations were going around. Of course you want to remain positive. You don't want to, feel like you're on the sinking ship. But at the same time, you have to kind of admit to your fans when there's defeat. You can't keep lying to them, and then when shit hits the fan, you keep moving on. You got to sometimes say, you know what, things aren't looking good, but they'll be better. Well, they just keep on the whole lying train, and I think that's what TNA is just going to keep continuing doing.
You see, Tom, that's a problem there. The person who's telling telling them that they're or pretty much lying to the fans is probably Dixie Carter, who a lot of people like Kevin Nash and I think even Mick Foley even said that she doesn't even know how to run the damn business. She doesn't know shit about the wrestling business, and she's telling all these lies to the fans. So
it's crazy because today.
Crazy.
Today on Twitter, Honky Tonk Man was shitting on TNA bad. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he trashed the shit out of them today. I really feel bad for him because if you got Honky Tonk Man shitting on you, even wrestling no more.
I don't know if you wanted to go to who was that guy in TNA that tweeted about Kevin Owens? Who was that?
Sean Ricker.
Sean Ricker. So, for those of you that don't know, Sean Ricker, I forget what his name is in TNA, it's something. So he tweeted a picture of the Michelin Man, who's a toughy guy, and he had the NXT belt, basically saying, Kevin Owens, look at the fat champion. And it pissed a lot of people off. And you know what? It pissed me off. For the simple fact that
it also pissed me off too.
Come
on, bro. Why are you hating? Who
is this guy? He was in NXT. He didn't even make it to TV. That says a lot about your talent. And then you're going to be bashing Kevin Owens, who obviously has a lot more talent and skill And you know what? He has a lot more morals because, Kevin Owens likes to be funny on Twitter and, mess with the fans, but he never bashes people. He never posts stuff to bash other wrestlers. And you see so much of Kevin Owens sometimes tweeting. He's like, guys, Ty Dillinger, he's the man. Scott Dawson, he's really good. He's always praising people that don't get enough recognition. And then you have Sean Ricker go out there and tweet something that he thought was funny, but wasn't. It's like, look at Kevin Owens is going to be facing John Cena at Elimination Chamber. What are you doing? You're stuck in TNA on a sinking ship, and you're going to do that? It's like, good luck getting a job back in WWE.
Well, what I heard about Sean Ricker, or his name is Eli in TNA, that, he was trying to, get into the main roster quickly if he can. He was trying to ask guys like Cena or whatever, try to find a shortcut to get way in, and that's how he got released. But, let's just go back to TNA and say it just sucks. I mean, it was going down.
You don't have no comments on what he did to Sting?
What about Sting?
What Tom just said. You want to listen?
Oh yeah, no, not really. I mean, hey, he that's how he feels. Tom's right. I mean, he pretty much had no right to talk about Kevin Steen like that. So, I mean, hey, look where Eli is now, and probably he's going to be in the company that's sinking ship. So, that's how he is.
And before we move on, because I know we have to talk about NXT, we still have a lot to talk about, but the last thing is 2CW tweeting today, basically bashing Triple H, saying that he can't make his own talent, that he has to get all these talent from the indies. And this pissed me off too, because I like 2CW.
I can name five people that are stars that have been made stars in NXT right now. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Tyler Breeze. You got Cass and Enzo Amore.
Rusev was who was he before WWE? He was a WWE product. And look at him now.
Hold that thought, Tom, because I'm pretty sure this person right here I'm about to put on has a comment about what 2CW said about Triple H not knowing how to make a star. Matt, you're on.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, dude?
What am I missing out on here?
Tell them, Tom.
The whole 2CW comment today about how Triple H can't make his own stars, basically saying that he can only take all the talent from the indies and use them, that he can't use his own stars. And that pissed me off. I don't know about you.
You there?
I am. Sorry about that. I did see the comments, and it's very interesting to note. I did see people's opinions about it. It is kind of interesting for 2CW to say that, considering, and somebody pointing it out, they book a lot of former WWE guys, so without them booking them guys, are they going to have the crowds that they do?
Yeah, and who's their champion right now? Tommy Dreamer, former WWE guy. Yes, he was ECW, I know, before people start going
Aren't they former tag champs, the Dudley Boys?
Yeah, but, there's people who are going to be like, well, they were in ECW before WWE. Shut the fuck up. Those are former WWE talents, and 2CW is using them. But the main point of this is when NXT is thriving, which it is, and it's only going to get bigger, when this is thriving, it's going to help the indies. I don't care what people say, because now people are going to be like, well, I want to see the next star before they go to NXT. I want to be able to say that I saw them before they went to WWE. It's going to drive up indie sales. It's going to drive it up. And for 2CW to go out there and start bashing WWE, it's like, what are you accomplishing? It's helping you. It's helping your guys. And you know what? It's also going to help when people say, well, I want to see I want to see matches of Kevin Owens before he was in WWE, and you point them to 2CW and Ring of Honor and PWG and AAW and AIW.
2CW, they can hate, but I got one more hate tweet, and then we can really get into the talk. So Gail Kim tweets this, because I guess somebody tweeted something about it took them this long for the WWE to appreciate the women's division. The main roster should be booked like NXT. And so she said, at least Triple H has a clue on how to book women. Vince McMahon needs a clue. Hashtag sexist. Hashtag women can main event any day. So a lot of people are going in on people today.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Gail Kim, you know, remembering how pretty much her last day in WWE when she fucking walked out during a match. You know, that was freaking.
She rolled
Did
out.
you guys bring up that bum from TNA trying to bury Kevin
we did.
Owens?
We did.
Yeah. If you want to, you can go ahead and rant on that because I already ranted on that no talent bum.
Fuck that bum.
Like I absolutely love it. Entertains me when people who fail to make it and are so bitter and so angry.
Kevin Owens didn't
like Rob Rage
say anything. Who's that bum?
Like look at CJ Park. Prime example. He left WWE on his own. And what is he doing? He's doing good stuff on the indies. He's staying humble. He doesn't bash WWE on Twitter and say, well, you know, they didn't push me and I was getting pissed and they don't know how to push guys. No, he's like, I love my time in WWE. It's just some people know how to stay humble and they know how to stay grateful instead of being bitter and angry and, you know, just childish. It's just childish. That's what it was. It was a childish tweet. And it's like I said, I didn't know who he was. So that says a lot about him. And yeah, if he's in TNA, I don't know. I know most of the TNA roster. I don't know who the fuck that guy is. He's a nobody.
The only thing I know about him that my first Championship Wrestling from Hollywood show was his last show before he got signed. I knew nothing about him before. So that's all I know.
It's probably going to stay that way.
But let's move on, guys. We got a lot of shit to talk about. Let's go on and talk about NXT Takeover last night. Let's start off with the first match of the night. You got the gorgeous man himself, Tyler Breeze, going against Finn Balor. This match, in my opinion, was like your normal NXT weekly type of match. You know, wasn't as big as I thought it would be. You know, without like Hideo Itami, which I've read on some things today that his injury is a fluke. Not sure that's true or false, but from the match, it was okay. Really wasn't something I expected from them. Just like I said, it was like your normal, regular NXT TV tapings match to me, but the interest was dope.
Yeah, I mean, coming out looking like a freaking dragon. That was freaking awesome. And
both guys had dope entrances. You gotta give it for Breeze too.
I guess those chicks right there is the only good thing about it, but I don't get the whole. I don't know.
Shout out to Jasmine.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, I don't get the whole fashion week thingy, but oh well. But yeah, I agree. Just a weekly match. It could have gone better with Hideo Itami in there, but fortunately he's injured. I believe he's injured. I don't know where the whole fluke thing came from, but unfortunately he got injured, and it sucks that you know, he couldn't participate in the match. And I think that if he wasn't this match, he would have been the winner instead of Finn Balor. But fortunately, Finn Balor won the match, and interesting to see what they're going to do next. Because I don't want to get another deja vu from the last time Finn Balor won a normal contender match. You had a match with Owens 2 weeks later, and then he lost. Is that we're going to see again?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I thought it was a good opener. I thought they had some good spots in the match. It was some good pacing. Obviously, these two are incredibly talented, each in their own right. Finn Balor, his entrances keep getting better and better. The paint on him keeps getting better and better. The eyeball on the back looked sick. It looked crazy. So I thought it was a good match. One thing I want to point out that I thought was hilarious is they showed Hideo Itami getting attacked, and
I like that. I love it.
Yeah,
I like how they're basically keeping Hideo Itami part of the storyline. I like that.
Yeah, so they showed him getting attacked in the parking lot. It was supposed to be like a fan cam footage, and so Kevin Owens is walking by, and he just looks at Hideo Itami and goes, "That's a shame." I thought that was great, but I think the match would have been better if it was a triple threat, but it was so fine, and it's hard to put on a really good match on the opening match. It's tough to do, especially with what matches are going to be coming up. It's tough to top that, but it was still good. Like I said, both guys, we know that both these guys have a bright future. We know it.
I don't care what nobody says. If they say I can't say it, but Breeze is gorgeous. Clap, 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 clap. Your thoughts, Matt?
I'm with you. It was kind of like a normal weekly thing. It wasn't really, anything I was looking forward to. I should say it wasn't anything I was too impressed with. It was, a normal match, but nothing to complain about in that sense as well. Really like the Hideo stuff as well. Really happy they kept him in storyline. Hopefully they continue it when he comes back. That's the only thing you got to keep up with WWE.
Well, sad part is, this is not the WWE. This is NXT, a whole different promotion, part of the same promotion.
Now, the whole thing with Hideo Itami is that they basically said that he got attacked by somebody. Do we have any guesses on if when he comes back and he's going to reveal who attacked him? Who do you guys think
it was? Rikishi, and he did it for The Rock. He did it for the people.
Guy.
I don't even think it's Kevin Owens. I really don't. Like a lot of people think it's Kevin Owens. I don't think it's him. I don't know. It's somebody that we least expect. Somebody that they're going to push, I think.
Finn Balor?
It could be Finn.
That's
could be Finn.
That's interesting. Both make sense.
I was thinking it could be Breeze because him and Breeze already had a feud, but then that's kind of like old already. If they keep it going when he comes back, it could be Finn though.
That would make sense. I think the Kevin Owens ones, it would seem kind of obvious, but it would make sense in that he saw Hideo Itami as a big threat in that triple threat match, so he took him out before he could even get in that match. So that makes sense as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Itami does come back.
Yeah. Next match, we had Charlotte and Bayley tagging up against Emma and Dana Brooke. And Emma, what's she looking nice?
Evil Emma. Clap, 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 clap.
One thing about this match, it could have been a good tag team match, but they just basically made Charlotte and Bayley job Emma and Dana. I feel like Emma's the only one that really got the offense off on the opposite team. Dana didn't really do that as much, but they just basically went out there and jobbed them. I feel like that was another weekly TV type of matchup too.
Yeah. I didn't see much from this match. It was a short little tag match. I thought they were going to maybe push it a little bit longer, but they didn't. Yeah, like I said, nothing much to comment. All I will say, though, is Dana Brooke has a long way to go. And I will say people are bashing her because they're like, oh, she botches. She's not that good. With Sarah Del Rey,
I was gonna say I used to bash fucking Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Look at them now.
Yeah, and with Sarah Del Rey training you, I'm pretty sure you're gonna end up being good.
Time out. I need to ask Oscar a question. Oscar, I know somebody's selling a PWG ticket for $45. Yes or no? You ain't gotta wait in line.
One or two.
One.
Damn,
One.
damn, you're putting the guy on the spot right here on the podcast. Shit.
Well,
Tony one.
Well, my buddy George needs a ticket too, so I'm down for that ticket.
Okay. All right, let's continue the show. Next match, you have Rhino going against Baron Corbin. A lot of folks wanted Rhino to win, but I'm fine with Baron Corbin winning because Rhino's basically out there putting over the young talent like Baron Corbin. It really wasn't the biggest match. It was like another weekly match to me. I don't know. This takeover was kind of slow in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the match we saw when we were at San Jose skit, something similar like that.
Didn't they fight? They did fight at over there in the
San Jose,
Bay Area, right?
Yeah, they did. Remember, Rhino shocked us. He came out, and I was like, "Oh shit, Rhino!" We were shocked to see Rhino there. So
yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically the same thing we witnessed out there in San Jose. The match wasn't that great, I'll tell you that. But the difference is in the crowd reaction that we're at San Jose. They fucking booed the shit out of Corbin. But in
that's where I feel like that's where it all started too.
That could be, but then last night he had a mixed reaction. But then at the same time,
I was gonna say one thing, but who doesn't have a mixed reaction in that arena? You know, you got your fans, you have your non-fans. That's how it is, and you have Breeze is gorgeous. No, he's not. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is.
Yeah, but I mean, so the difference was when we were at San Jose, no one gave a shit about Baron Corbin. They just booed the shit out of him. No one gave a shit about him. But we were off there, he had some cheers. That's the only difference.
Right.
So, yeah. That's the only thing I can comment about this match.
All I gotta say before we continue the talk is Dolph Ziggler's a freaking awesome dude for retweeting the AIW poster for this weekend.
He holding it down for a city.
Yeah. But going back to the Baron Corbin Rhino match, I thought it was okay for what it was. I didn't really expect a really good match from there. I thought the spots were okay. It was a lot of brawling. Of course, Baron Corbin going over it makes sense. Building him up. I think Baron Corbin, he's showing some promise. But like I said, with Dana Brooke, he still has a ways to go. So this match was fine to me. It was like you said, it was like a TV match. So I didn't hate it, but it wasn't match of the night. So I was okay.
And you want to go ahead and throw some out, Matt, or are you? No comment.
No comment.
All right, next match for the NXT Tag Team Championship titles. You have the champs Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy going against the realest dudes in the room, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Now, this match was pretty messy. I'll tell you that. It was a messy type of tag team match. I gotta give props to Enzo Amore though. He did a lot of unusual stuff as he does regularly. I feel like he was in the ring more than Colin Cassidy this time. But mad props to Enzo Amore. And how about the turnout? A lot of folks thought Carmella was gonna turn heel, but I believe one person here on the show called it.
I called it.
Let me get there. I'm gonna give you credit. I'm gonna put you over. One person here on the show called it, and his name was Oscar. He said that what's the chick's name? The glitter chick.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss would help Buddy Murphy and Blake, and she did. You guys' thoughts on this heel turn, and do you think it's gonna help her?
Well, I already commented last week. It wouldn't surprise me this will go down due to the fact that Triple H really likes her. So, I mean, I guess you're trying to find a different role for her. So I guess you're going to try this little heel turn with her and joining with Blake and Murphy. And then let's see what it goes on. But I think they really, really are high on her. And I'm guessing as soon as like Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley hit to the main or in the main roster, she'll be one of the top divas in the NXT roster. So they have a lot of lows and highs for her. And about the match, I mean, I tried to watch it because I was so dizzy from fucking Blake and Murphy's fucking entrances. Fucking camera was going to be dizzy. And that fucking dubstep music, too. Yeah, it was okay. Something I expected, you know. Somehow Blake and Murphy was going to walk out the tag team titles. There's no memorable spots I can think of. I could talk about this. But personally, I think Enzo and Cass will win the tag titles somehow this year. They're going to win it somehow this year, like I said, and maybe the next Takeover show will do it.
Yeah, I think it was good for Alexa Bliss to turn heel because it kind of separates her. You know, when you have girls like Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, they're all kind of faces in their own sense. Nobody's really a clear-cut heel. You have Emma, of course, on there as a heel. But Alexa Bliss, I think, really needed to kind of, like, stand out because her doing her whole glitter thing, it was kind of like Bayley in the sense that she's just this fun-loving, hyped-up kind of woman. So it was good that she's, taking a more aggressive attitude. So I liked it. Match was okay. Once again, there were some good spots in there, some good sequences from point to point, some slow spots, but that was kind of expected in tag matches. Enzo, he's looking better in the ring. Colin Cassidy, he's definitely the ring general out of the group. They're so goddamn over. And, I mean, you talked about some of the most over guys in NXT. Enzo and Cass are probably top two. No doubt about it. Crowd loves chanting along with Enzo and Cass. It's great. And those are two guys I can definitely see getting really, really over on the main roster with the same gimmick because fans on the main roster, no matter how young or how old, love to chant along with things. So once they get on the main roster and they have people doing their quotes and all that, they're going to be hugely over. And the thing with Enzo is that even if he can't, wrestle a lot because he's not really one of the best out there, he can still talk his ass off. He can be a manager. He can do what he's doing right now with Big Cass and kind of work a little bit of the match and get a hot tag or something like that. But okay match. I like the Alexa Bliss heel turn. Definitely shake things up. It's going to be interesting to see if Blake and Murphy, if they do drop the tag titles to Enzo and Cass eventually, or if somebody else takes them.
Yeah. I already think Alexa Bliss might win me over because I already don't really like her. But sometimes when you turn heel, you win people over. So let's see what happens with that one.
That's true. I'll go with Oscar on that one. The sense of Blake and Murphy's fucking theme song and the goddamn camera angles and the frickin' lighting and everything. Are you trying to give somebody a seizure? Jesus Christ. Warning symbol, folks. The match, I thought it was kind of odd. Didn't seem like the two teams meshed very well together. Maybe it was an off night or something, because I know they've worked very well together in the past. We've
seen them work in the Bay Area. It wasn't that bad of a match. I think this match was worse than the one I've seen already.
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't seem like they were having a good match together that night. Wasn't a big fan of the finish. I guess you had to do something with Alexa Bliss, like you guys said. She's kind of similar to Bayley, but I don't know. I didn't like the alignment with Blake and Murphy. I didn't like the fact that they retained the titles. I think Enzo and Cass are going to become like the primetime players of NXT or something if they don't get the title soon. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Reading Ricochet and Matt Jackson's hilarious, which we'll get to later. But let's move on. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. I have to say, match of the night, and I praise both those girls, especially Becky Lynch. She stepped her game up to a whole other level. Basically, got more respect after this match from different fans that probably didn't believe her at first. Shout out to Becky Lynch now on. I love the new orange hair. She's looking sexy as hell. And Sasha Banks, we know what she can do. Like, these two, they got to go at it. I would love to see, like, a submission type of match with these two. Like, I don't know if they ever had, like, a submission match with females. That would be crazy. Or, like, a 2 out of 3 falls match with Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks would be nuts.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, match of the night from beginning to end. Great match. Working over the arms and all the submission locks and all the different strikes and counters. It was great. This might have been my favorite NXT women's title match so far. It's tough because there's been so many, but with all the submissions and all that, that's what really, I think, helped me like this more than any other one of the matches. And they just worked so well together. And I was worried how Becky Lynch was going to do. She looked great. She's going to be another star when she gets on the main roster. Damn good match. The women in NXT are killing it. And I think, after the fact, Triple H tweeted a photo of him hugging Becky Lynch and then another photo of him hugging Sasha Banks. And it's just like, these women are working so damn hard, and it's paying off because people are seeing it and people are loving it and praising it day after day.
Yeah, speaking of that real quick, I know this is off subject, but Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, they want the main roster's girls to be just like the NXT roster's girls. They're working on that hard. They want that. But Vince McMahon still wants them to be how they are now, which he needs to sit in the corner and think about it.
And it's just like, I don't get that because there are ways to make women look sexy but look strong. Look at Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae is damn good looking. I think we all know this by now. But she goes out there and she works like a ring general. She knows how to go out there and have good matches with guys and girls. So there's ways that you can have the Vince McMahon way and have them look good and look sexy, but then have them look the NXT way where they're putting on awesome 15-minute matches. There's ways that you can have it both ways. You don't just have to have them just doing matches and just being good in the ring, but you can kind of compromise on both ends.
Yeah. But let's hope, when Steph and Triple H, which I think they're super close to taking over this whole company, things started changing with the Divas. Main event, Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn. It started off pretty good. It definitely started off pretty good. It started off is way better than the first match. And the spots that they did outside of the ring were crazy. That power bomb to the mat that Kevin Owens did to Zayn was nuts. Also the spot when they were outside of the ring, inside where the crowd was some crazy spots there. But I'm still upset that they really aren't letting either one of them yet. It's like they don't want either one to look weak, but at the same time weak with the injuries. But after the match, well, the match really didn't finish because I guess Kevin Owens was just like kept attacking Sami Zayn, and out of nowhere, I'm on the Xbox and Matt's going nuts. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Please don't tell me what it is, but I think it is. And all of a sudden, I see this big Samoa dude comes out with a T-shirt on, says Samoa Joe, SoCal repping, baby. Samoa Joe coming down to save the day. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Samoa Joe comes down face to face with Kevin Owens. It was crazy. No contact.
Wait a minute. Before you continue, who called it? Who called this on Monday's show?
That was you. That was you.
I'll give you 90. Hold on, Tom. I'm giving you 90% of the credit. This one thing you said that didn't happen. You said that he was
the lights would turn out.
You do that.
You said the lights would, and you said, and you also said the lights would turn out. But I'm gonna give you your credit, your full credit. I'm not gonna be like that.
What what a moment! What a fucking moment to see Samoa Joe on NXT, another guy we never thought we would see in WWE, coming face to face with Kevin Owens, who we never thought we'd see in WWE. It was so surreal and so awesome. And what surprised me the most is that I figured they were going to debut him, but he's still working independent dates, and he's still going to keep working independent dates, I think, until June. So,
and he has his own NXT T-shirt.
Yeah. So technically, this is the first time that WWE has hired an independent contractor, in that he's working NXT, but he's still working in.
Well,
nobody else has done that.
But the question is going to last because, I mean, right now it's been reported that he's doing some indies for right now. So the latest ones we know he's getting booked all the way to August for his Northeast Wrestling. But after that, is he going to take any more indie dates? That's the next question.
I don't think so. I think he's going to finish.
I don't think so either.
I think he's going to finish up the indie dates that he's scheduled to appear on, and that's it. Because with NXT
they made the man a fucking T-shirt. Why are we wasting your time on making a man a T-shirt when you know damn well he's not coming back after August? Rhino don't have a T-shirt.
It is so crazy.
Rhino wears the same damn NXT T-shirt every week.
If I would have told the three of you, Skit, Oscar, and Matt, back in 2011, that we would see a match between Kevin Steen and El Generico main eventing NXT, and at the end of the night, Samoa Joe would come face to face with Kevin Steen, keeping his Samoa Joe name, would any of you believe me?
I would tell you to slap yourself. Or you know what? Better yet, I would tell you to stop it.
It is crazy, Matt. I want to get your thoughts on all this because I know, Samoa Joe's still working indie dates, and you've seen him and all this. What is your whole take on this?
I'm really shocked that WWE is allowing this to go down, like allowing him to work as an independent contractor. Not only that, but coming from TNA, they're building him up as such a big main event guy when the only experience he's had really in wrestling, no offense, and that's not a knock on Joe at all, is in TNA. It's like they're actually taking a chance on a TNA guy to fucking be a big name, and it's pretty crazy.
He's an ROH guy too, damn it.
Hey, that's true, but I mean, like, for the past, 8 years or so, he was a TNA guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to say. Something I was trying to clear some of the skills here. I never said anything about he will not come back after August. I know he signed a 2 or 3 year deal, but my question was that can he do more, accept more dates after the New England wrestling show? But that's the question I was trying to tell you guys.
Who knows? That's something that we have to sit back and watch as fans and be surprised. because a lot of unpredictable shit is happening. Maybe that's what we need to have, that feeling again. Back when we were kids, we get surprised when like a guy like The Undertaker shows up in 1990 at Survivor Series. We don't know who he is. Maybe we'd be surprised that this person's going to show up on Raw. We need that
I don't know about
again.
you guys. You guys can be fans, but I'm going to be a fan, a fat-ass Mark.
I'm still keeping my hopes high for Bola, for Samoa Joe. I'm still keeping my hopes high.
I don't see it happening. That's just me. But I just don't see it. But I know tonight they kind of teased a one-on-one with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. That was a no contest, so that feud is going to continue. So he was at the taping tonight, but that's what happened. For that's a spoiler alert, people. Another thing about Samoa Joe on Twitter, John Thornton, the AIW, I think he's like the owner. He tweeted, "I'm willing to cancel Johnny Gargano if CM Punk decides he wants to wrestle Samoa Joe on Saturday." CM Punk replies, "How much?" ? I don't know if they're bullshitting with us, but if that happens, I might just take a lap all the way to fucking Canada and come right back.
Yeah, I might be taking a lap to Cleveland.
So, unfortunately, it's not going to happen. He's owned by Dana White. Dana White will not allow it to happen. Sorry. If you're not going to allow Ronda Rousey wrestle WrestleMania, ain't going to let no CM Punk wrestle no AIW. Sorry.
You was wrong before about Samoa Joe.
Oh, I'm right. No. Well, I'm right about the UFC. I know UFC pretty well. I mean, if CM Punk doesn't...
You got Dana on speed draw?
Huh?
I said you have Dana on speed.
Yeah, Dana White on speed now, he said.
I won't say that it couldn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen, just for the fact that I think CM Punk's just too busy doing his MMA thing, and he doesn't. I feel like if he gets back in the ring one time, he's going to want to keep doing it. So that's why he's been focused on MMA. Because even though he got pissed off with wrestling, I think he still misses it because it was his love, it was his passion, it was his life. So I feel like when he's going to get back in the ring, if he does, he's going to want to commit like full time to it and not just do it once.
Yeah, I would not. All I'm going to say is I would not be surprised to see CM Punk in Cleveland this weekend.
I wouldn't either.
He might show up. I wouldn't be surprised, but
if Samoa Joe's involved, he might show up. It's his best friend.
Okay, let me rephrase myself. I would not be surprised to see CM Punk wrestle Samoa Joe this weekend in Cleveland.
It won't happen, buddy.
But they've been tweeting. Well, I know Samoa Joe said, he tweeted out a while back, CM Punk has one match left in him. Basically letting all the bookers know to book us. So, you never know. We don't know.
It's not going to happen. Trust me.
Just like you said Samoa Joe wasn't going to show up, right?
Okay. If CM Punk wrestles Saturday, I will eat shit. He's not going to wrestle Saturday.
We want this on video camera, too.
Whoa.
On video camera, we want to see this.
Okay, if CM Punk doesn't wrestle, you're going to eat shit. Yeah?
I'm not eating not a damn thing. That's
true.
You the one that said you're going to eat shit. Am I right or wrong? He the one that said it, right?
How about this? If CM Punk doesn't wrestle, get a new hairdo for once.
Hairdo? What do you mean by hairdo?
I don't know, because you the same the last 10 years. Why not grow hair like Richard Sherman?
I'm all right. Sorry.
Yikes.
Anyways, let's talk about let's talk about something else. How about I say one more break and then we'll come back.
Is he going to rack him?
You fucking idiot.
What's up? This is the phenomenal AJ Styles down here in LA, kicking it with the PWG, busting my tail. Freaking great tournament, the bowler tournament is freaking amazing. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, everybody and anybody needs to listen to WrestlingHeads Podcast.
Fucking bullshit!
Hey, and Oscar, for you to tell me to fucking grow my hair, I got one thing to say.
Suck my dick! Suck my dick! Suck my dick!
Hey, it's nice to try a new hairdo for once, not like the same one you had for 10 years.
It's not the same hairdo, bro, but whatever.
I say Skits grows an afro.
Nah, I'm alright. Anyways.
Oh, wow.
You guys, enough of me. Let's talk about some professional wrestling. How about that? Can we? Because we
how about if CM Punk shows up at AIW, do you remember that Tyson Kidd haircut when he first debuted on ECW, where it was shaved bald?
Anyway,
had that
Pro Wrestling Gorilla, DDT4, tomorrow, May 22nd. I'm in line early, hanging out with the boys, playing cards, playing games, eating, and all that other shit, talking wrestling. Let's talk about some of the contestants that are part of the DDT4 tournament. Making their debut to PWG, you got Team Tremendous. First time I'm actually going to get to, me and Oscar are going to get to see Team Tremendous. I've seen a couple matches with them. I think I've seen a match with them with Red Dragon at Beyond, which is pretty good. I think it's up for free, so folks, you want to see anything about Team Tremendous, you're not familiar, look up on Beyond's YouTube. I believe they have a match for free against the Red Dragon. Check that out. The Team Tremendous in there. And you guys got any comments on Team Tremendous?
Yeah, I've seen them live, and you guys are gonna love them. Very fun tag team. Very kind of goofy, but they can get serious when they want to. A lot of high flying, even from Bill Carr, who's a big guy. So you guys are used to getting out of the way, but Bill Carr is a big guy, and he's gonna fly all over Reseda. You guys are gonna like them. Like I said, they're a fun tag team, something different, and I'm happy they're going to PWG. They deserve it.
Yeah, I've seen them a lot. Not only in Beyond, I saw them at CCW and House of Hardcore. They're more comedic type tag team type of dudes, and I'm familiar with these guys. I'm surprised to see them in PWG. I never really had it in my mind, like, okay, I want to see these guys at PWG. But, yeah, we should see what they'll do in PWG. We don't know who the opponents are, but we'll see what happens.
If you want them to win, there's one thing you got to do, guys.
All you have to do is believe!
That's the second time we played that here. No, we just Don't Stop Believing earlier. Shout out to fucking Mo Dallas.
Don't stop believing, guys.
Oh, shit. You have any thoughts on Team Tremendous?
I think it's a great team, great addition to the tournament. I don't think they're going to win the tournament, but I think they're going to be have a fun match. I want to see who they're facing. Should be a fun time.
Definitely.
Skits.
I think Skits died.
All right, let's keep going with some of these teams for DDT4.
Yeah, I said, my bad. Biff Busick and Drew Gulak. Like I said, cheap plug, Biff Busick. Go listen to it this past Monday. But Biff and Drew, looking forward to these two tag up in PWG. Of course, they teamed up at Smash Wrestling before against the Bucks. They also did, just like Biff said, they faced Roddy and Eddie. They also faced the Wolves too. So them tagging up together is going to be pretty good to see. I think we actually seen them tag up Bolo Weekend, right?
Yeah, they did against Red Dragon.
Yeah, I don't think too many people don't remember those two tagging up, but
I want to see them two against the Monster Mafia.
You might get it.
That's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. But Biff and Drew, it basically Biff will have a little preview of him and Ethan Page in that tag match because they're going to be facing each other at Alpha One. T-Plug. Yeah, Biff and Drew. You guys' thoughts?
I have a question for Skits and Tom here. When we had Biff Busick on, and he asked us who we think we're going to win the tournament, did you guys really meant that Biff and Drew were going to win it?
No, I will share who I want to win at the end of the show.
I'll share mine later too, but Biff and Drew was not my pick.
I still love you, Biff.
I wouldn't say I lied. I would say that I took the truth and kind of stretched it just a little bit. You know, honestly,
you know what's funny? In DDT4, they can still win the belts. They can still win the belts.
I wouldn't say I lied, but I lied.
Listen, to be honest, looking at all these teams, I wouldn't be mad with any of these teams winning. Any of these teams could
except for Candice and Joey.
Listen, just because you have a hate for fucking Joey Ryan.
No. That's not even it. I'm just tired of seeing them as champs now. It's time for some new people to have belts. That's all. But let's move on. Beaver Boys are back, and they've been playing that hill roll in PWG like crazy. The folks hate them at PWG. Beaver Boys got a lot of heat on them at PWG, and Alex Reynolds plays a big part of that.
I want to know whose hand he's jerking off in the next tomorrow night.
Yeah, 'cause that's like his little gimmick now, huh?
Yeah, jerking off the hand. So that's how he is. So if you want to get your hand,
as long as he doesn't jerk off on the sucker again, then I'll be okay. That was depressing.
Beaver Boys are awesome, though. They're a great tag team. I was happy. Yeah, I mean, both those guys are awesome. I was happy when they debuted, and now it looks like they might be mainstays within PWG. So, you know, happy for them because, you know, they're a great talent, and it's a great addition to PWG.
Hey, Skit, are you going to ask John Silver about his Tough Enough video when you see him there tomorrow?
I don't even think I've seen it, but I heard about it.
I might ask him then.
Of course, you got the PWG Tag Champs, Candice LeRae and Joey Ryan in. It's going to be a big challenge for everybody else. That's all I have to say about that.
All right.
Let's move on.
Now that you mentioned that tag team, Candice LeRae and Joey Ryan, they're now my favorites to win it all. I'm sorry, I don't like this pick, but I'm going for them to win it all. I'm sorry.
I'll still wait till I finish announcing everybody, and then I'll tell you once. But you guys got thoughts on Candice and Joey?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Inner City Machine Guns are back, baby. Inner City. I'm so happy. Ricochet and Rich Swann together, back again. I don't know. Last time I seen these guys tag up, it's been a minute. I'll just say one of the best tag team matches I've seen them in at PWG is when they.
Wait a minute, Skip. You did see them at WrestleMania Weekend Evolve tag team, so don't.
No, they weren't tagging up together. They were. It was a 6. They were tagging up with OI Nation though. So, but this and talking about tag team. Ricochet and Rich Swann. One of the best matches I've seen these guys in is against the Young Bucks and Michael Elgin and Brian Cage in that ladder match. It's one of the best matches I've seen. And plus, they had a regular tag match. I believe it was a DDT4 match when they went against Elgin and Cage. And half of the crowd's going, Inner City, fucking machines, Inner City, fucking machines. That was an epic moment. It was one of my favorite shows going to PWG. But a lot of high flying expected from these two.
Yeah, they're going to be good. Obviously, tagged before. We've seen a lot of them in PWG, so it should be good.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like Oscar said, last time I seen these guys kind of tag up, there was Rich Swann, Ricochet, and UR Nation against Caleb Conley, Brian Cage, and TJ Perkins. That was at Evolve. But the next team, which is probably Matt's favorite team to win, Monster Mafia.
Well, I mean, of course. Ethan Page, Josh Alexander, they are going to win DDT4 and become the PWG World Tag Team Champions.
Okay, can I give a prediction on this one a little bit? I am expecting one of the 4 horsewomen to get involved in the match because of Ethan Page being a dick to one of them on the last show. I expect one of them to somehow interfere in this match.
If that happens, bro, I'm going to be so pissed. I'm never talking to them bitches
There was a sunset, and there was like a full moon or something, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in Reseda.
I think this needs to be said. I'm kind of upset because they're not there to put themselves over. They're there to put the wrestlers over, and I don't like that. That's just one thing.
There's, it's fine when you have Ronda Rousey chop this music, or if you show them in the front row, but don't have them interfere in changing the matches. I don't think that's going to happen, but if it did, I'd be kind of pissed.
This ain't Ring of Honor.
That's Ring of Honor and WWE style. Like, don't do that. But you know what? I think Excalibur and Super Dragon. I think they're smarter. I think they're smarter than that.
I'll be so mad if that happened for real.
But it's great to see the Mafia in PWG. They're tearing it up everywhere else. Looking at all these teams, it makes the most sense to put the titles on them. I don't see really any other teams where it would make sense for them to win and put the titles on them.
Here's a team that's a sleeper that they, I don't know if they're going to do something with these guys, but they wanted to. 2 friends, and these guys are good friends. Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee together. That team's going to be a sleeper. Expect to see some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. Both those guys are out of their mind. I said it before that Andrew Everett missing that double moonsault on the last show, he's going to kill himself, and he should never, ever do that again because that was scary as shit. So, but, both those guys are extremely talented. I don't see this team winning because I think Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee are more singles type of guys, and that's where they thrive more. I think they kind of just put this team together to kind of put them on the card, and it makes sense because they're both North Carolina guys. So it makes sense, and it allows them to kind of get on the card as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a great teaming. I like the pairing of the North Carolina boys, but I definitely don't see them winning the tournament either.
Would it be so funny to come out to Pity Pablo? I just thought of that in my head right now.
North Carolina, North Fraser, took your shirt off, spin around your head, spin like a helicopter. That would be funny. I doubt it, but that would be funny. Because they do come out with some funny themes. And also, one more team has been added. You have Matt Sydal now teaming up with our guest from earlier, Mike Bailey. We were talking to him and he said he looked up to Matt Sydal when he was young, so this is going to be a pretty fun tag team to watch, too.
Yeah, definitely. But, it's sad that my original pick was Sydal and Saban to win it all. Love Gun, but unfortunately Saban.
Love Gun was definitely one of my favorites to win, too, because I feel like they're super over in PWG right now.
Yeah, they are. And they just came out being the Young Bucks. And what did they do with Monster Mafia last show, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like they're trying to do something with these guys, and then all of a sudden, Chris Sabin fucked up his back, and
did he get hurt at the Ring of Honor shows, the Ring of Honor New Japan shows?
probably that was the show.
I would have to think that was the shows.
Was it the match with him, O'Reilly, and Kushida?
Yeah, because I don't think he worked on Saturday.
That match was crazy.
Yeah,
I really think everybody. If you haven't seen that match yet, people, that's a must-watch match. That's potentially match of the year. That's definitely top 20 matches of the year right now for me so far. I know we're early in the year, but that's still it's definitely gonna be on my list by the end of the year. But yeah, it definitely sucks that Chris Sabin's not there. Hopefully he shows up still to support his boy Matt Sydal. Johnny Gargano is now going to be going against one-on-one against TJ Perkins, who's showing up. TJP is showing up. I wonder what clothes he's going to be wearing.
That all those TNA rumors going around. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because I feel like every time someone gets injured and PWG needs a replacement, they go to TJP because they know he's in California.
They usually would go to Willie Mack, but I haven't seen Willie there lately.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I was thinking when I saw the tweet about Chris Sabin being injured, I was like, oh man, it would be great to see Gargano versus Willie Mack. That'd be an awesome match. And then it was
they actually had a match at AWS.
Yeah, but it should be a good match. So Gargano and TJP always put on good matches. So I wouldn't expect anything less.
Definitely. And main event, the PWG champion Roddy Strong, who's been killing it, going against Brian Cage, who surprisingly is in the main event, and Chris Hero. This is going to be an interesting main event to see. And if Brian Cage is gonna be doing what he's been doing at Lucha Underground and AAA, this match is gonna be nuts. And Chris Hero, I don't care what anybody says, he's been killing it too.
Yeah, I mean, what a year for Brian Cage will have. Say if he does walk out PWG champion, then a few weeks later he walks out AAA Mega champion because he's getting Tasha against El Patron, I think in the middle of June. That's where that big event's happening when he's going against Patron. I've been watching AAA as of late, and I feel like that role, that little thing they're doing, it's setting up to the event they're having this weekend, the Lucha Libre, and then it'll lead to their other big event when those two are finally going to get it on. So, for
those wondering, that's where ACH is. That's why he's not going to be at PWG. And for those wondering where Cedric Alexander is, he's at AIW on Saturday. So, but that's the deal with those two, to let everybody know. But PWG DDT4 are going down, and my favorite to win, I'm about to go with. We'll have to go to Monster Mafia. If they don't win, it goes back to the champs.
Yeah, I'm still going with World's Cutest Tag Team. I don't want them to win it, but I just don't. The other teams I see, I mean, in this list, I just don't see them winning it. I feel like they will go with that route, just World's Cutest Tag Team, and it's sad to say that I don't think they're going to be losing tag titles anytime soon.
Yeah. Real quick, New Japan Pro Wrestling about to start soon. The Best of Super Juniors. Our buddy Tom is gonna go down the card real quick.
Yeah, of course. Best of the Super Juniors. Before I get into the card, I was really surprised. No Ricochet, even though he's the defending Best of the Super Juniors from last year. They decided not to put him in this year. That was really surprising. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah, a little surprised. I mean, I know Lucha's not doing any tapings, but I don't know why he's not going on in Japan. It just seems like since he's signed with Lucha, he hasn't been in Japan a lot lately. So.
Well,
yeah, he's been working a lot of Lucha Underground, so I don't know.
We all know his relationship with Dragon Cage Japan is not the same since he went to New Japan last year. He's just in the States right now doing his thing, and maybe he needs to head up to Mexico soon. Never know. But
I don't know. It was really interesting. I don't know what they were planning something. I don't know if he's ever going to be back there, but you would have to think that usually the defending champ is going to be.
That's something that I will ask him tomorrow.
Yeah. So, Best of the Super Juniors going down. For those of you that don't know, it's split up into two blocks. In Block A, we got Barbaro Cavernario from CMLL making his debut. We got Beretta, of course, Chase Owens, Geto, Jushin Thunder Liger, Kyle O'Reilly, Ryusuke Taguchi, and the young lion Yohei Komatsu. Block B, we got Alex Shelley, Bobby Fish, debuting David Finlay, son of Fitz Finlay, Kushida, Mascara Dorada, Nick Jackson, Rocky Romero, and Tiger Mask 4. And this tournament is going to be going from tomorrow until, technically today, until June 7th.
What time does it start for our time?
I think my time, I think it's starting at 4, so I think around 1 is when it's going to be starting for you guys, but I'm not.
I believe it's starting. I believe I read it's starting at 6:30 our time, like AM.
6:30, because that's usually New Japan shows start between 4:30 and 5 usually our time, which is around 1:30, 2 o'clock for you guys. But I'm not sure the exact thing. I couldn't stay up tonight and watch it just because it's not the weekend, it's the weekday. Usually New Japan shows are shown on the weekend, so I can stay up and watch them usually. So I don't know the exact time. I'm sure New Japan World, if you go on there, they'll have the exact time. Some people on Twitter probably know the exact times. But yeah, a lot of talent going on. And, of course, the winner of Block A is going to face Block B in the finals like they usually do. It's a round-robin type tournament. And then the winner of this is going to be facing Kenny Omega at Dominion for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Who do you guys got winning the Best of the Super Juniors?
I think I'm going to go with Kushida.
I think I'm going with Kushida as well.
I'm going to go Kushida as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if Alex Shelley gets that shot as well, because he did have a match.
Shelley, he faced him at the last show, right?
Yeah, faced him at the Wrestling Dontaku, which was the last New Japan show. So, and it was a good match. So I don't know if they would consider continuing that feud or not. Kushida makes the most sense. A lot of the other guys don't really make much sense. You have guys like Geto and Jushin Liger and Tiger Mask. I don't think they're going to win. I don't think Nick Jackson's going to win. Bobby Fish, I don't see winning. As good as Trent Beretta is, I don't see him winning. Chase Owens, no. I think the finals, which a lot of people are predicting, is going to be Kyle O'Reilly and Kushida.
That would be nuts. Kyle O'Reilly's been pumping it up, too, on his Facebook.
I can tell you one thing. If it's Kyle O'Reilly and Kushida, that's 2/3 of the match I saw at Global Wars Live, and that was insane. So I can only imagine what that match is going to be in New Japan.
Definitely. New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to be nuts. Do you have AIW?
I don't have the bracket up at the moment, but I
can get it up. I can get the bracket real quick. So, AIW JT Lightning Invitational Tournament. Of course, just like Bola, it's going to be whoever wins their matches gets to the final, wins. A lot of great contestants here. These are all opening round matches because we don't know any of the other things. We got Eric Ryan going against Nick fucking Gage. That should be crazy. Raymond Rowe taking on the debuting Tyson Dukes. Tracy Williams going against Nunzio, a.k.a. Little Guido. Lewis Linden taking on Tyler Thomas, which I know Matt over here praises Tyler Thomas a lot, so that should be interesting to see.
It's going to be a great match.
Yeah, you got BJ Whitmer taking on Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Of course, Doug Gilbert, known for, a lot of his old school things and ranting on Jerry Lawler. So that should be interesting as well. Flip Kendrick going against my fucking girl, who we saw kill it on the Raw Alternative stream, Athena. That should be great as well. Debuting Too Cold Scorpio going against Cheech. Got Cedric Alexander debuting.
How old is Too Cold Scorpio?
Oh, God. He's got to be in his 40s.
I heard he still goes, ridiculous. He is fucking insane in the ring still.
Yeah, I've heard he can still go, so it'll be interesting to see if you can still
bust out that. The man busted out a moonsault leg drop. It was ridiculous.
My God. Debuting Cedric Alexander going against Colin Delaney. That should be a good one. Both those guys are incredibly talented. Another guy we saw on the Raw Alternative stream, which a lot of people are now praising, Alessandro Del Bruno going against Jennifer Blake.
That is my boy. That is my boy.
Yeah, I recommend everyone going and checking out Alpha One Wrestling. That's where you're going to see a lot of Alessandro Del Bruno. I didn't know much about him, but Alpha One has definitely opened my eyes to what he can do, and so is Mr. Matthew Grant.
And how about Tommy Dreamer on commentary during that match? Sorry to interrupt.
He was hilarious. But we got 1/3 of the Bromance, DJZ, going against Alex Daniels. One of the best girls going on the Indies, Heidi Lovelace, going against Davey Vega. Josh Prohibition. Yeah, Heidi Lovelace is so good. She's so fucking good. And, of course, Josh Prohibition going against Dick Justice. And, of course, the big match a lot of people are looking forward to. Night 2, non-tournament match, Samoa Joe, Johnny Gargano. It's going down. And, of course...
Let's not forget Ethan Page versus Josh Alexander is going down, too.
You also have Girls Night Out going down as well. So 3 shows from AIW this weekend. Insane.
Yeah, I was just going to get to Girls Night Out because they have got some great matches going on there. We have Athena and a mystery partner going against Veda Scott and a mystery partner. Mia Yim going against one of the participants in the JTIL, Jennifer Blake. Jenny Rose, Candice LeRae, that should be a great match. Candice, of course, is going to be killing it, and so is Jenny Rose. Allison Kay and Alexia Nicole, Ray Lynn and Angel Dust. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy weekend for AIW. If you're in the Cleveland area, if you're in the Ohio area, make sure you get down to the Our Lady of Mount Carmel School in Cleveland. Go to all these shows. I can't wait for them to come out on AIWarchives.com. Cheap plug.
Also, tomorrow, AWS has a show going head-to-head with PWG. And main eventing their show, I believe, you have The AWS champion Willie Mack going against Che Cabrera. That is going down. PP Ray putting their AWS tag titles on the line against the Classic Connection. Not too familiar with those guys, but that's going down. You got Sage Sin going against Daturia. That's gonna go down for the ladies. Also, you got Sasha, my boy Sasha. You remember Sasha, Matt?
That is my dude.
Sasha is gonna be there. He'll be there in action.
He is my comrade.
Yuma Tornado will be in action. Who else we got in action? There's a lot of guys in action here in SoCal.
You saw Yuma Tornado's Facebook post?
I haven't.
He hosted Captain Cameron Khan was on SmackDown today with the Tough Enough shit.
Say that again?
He posted on his Facebook that Captain Comic Con was on WWE TV tonight, which means SmackDown.
I told you. I fucking told you guys.
That now, yeah.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that one. But that's another story for another day. But PWG going head to head against AWS, and I believe that they're right around the corner from each other. Am I right, Oscar?
Oh yeah, it's Conago Park and Reseda are down street from each other.
The Friday Night Wars
in SoCal. Dun, 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 dun. Who's gonna win? I'm going to PWG, damn it. Sorry, AWS, I love you too, but we'll see you. You know, this is when I'll see AWS. And just now, we just made this happen. Nicole Savoy will be on WHRADIO next Monday. Next Monday, as we talk to her about AWS's Ladies Night, and as she goes one-on-one against my good friend at PWG, Miss Laura, which is actually Joey Ryan's girlfriend, by the way, Laura James. Shout out to Laura James. She's a good person. They're gonna go one-on-one.
Does Joey Ryan believe in a thing called love?
I think so.
See, look what you just broke kayfabe. Look what you did. We people are thinking that Cam and Joey are together, and you just broke their heart.
Hey, I didn't break it first. But I believe Oscar is trying to shut the show down already. Actually, he hung up. So
damn, he's like the police that shows up at the party before it's ending.
Actually, he hung up. The man hung up, so I guess we can still talk. But it's really not that much to talk about. But everybody, go follow Oscar at Sinister632. He already left. He will put up his classic matches of the week, hopefully. So, yeah. You can follow me at WHSkits on Twitter. Tomorrow, I'll be at PWG holding it down for the gang on the Elite Podcast Network. I'll have live coverage for the show. Make sure you follow me. Again, also Thursday, we have JT Dunn coming in here on the show, too, as we talk to him on what he's got going on. He got some very important matches coming up for him. So, yeah. Follow WrestlingHeads too. YouTube.com/WrestlingHeads. ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. I don't know what else to plug after that. Follow Elite Podcast Network on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net. Do that. We need more followers. We're trying to get our shit up because we are elite. Hashtag that. Me and Matt was talking about this. I'm thinking about coming out with my own T-shirt. Hashtag stop it, because some people need to stop it out there. So, but But go ahead and oh, one more thing before we leave. Virgil, stop it. $40, bro? No, did he say $40 that he'll follow you? Sit in the corner.
20, but still, stop the bullshit.
Sit in the fucking corner, Virgil. You're a bum. You're a disgrace to black folks.
Pull cheeseburger, like I posted a picture of at Global Wars, and sit in the corner.
I'm trying to get blocked by fucking Virgil on Twitter. But go ahead, Tom.
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. That's really my only social media account, so you can find me there. Follow me there. Make sure you check out all the other shows on the Elite Podcast Network. Of course, Uncle Mike and Tom show. Sat down with John Thorne of AIW. They're going to be talking about the JP Lightning Invitational Tournament going on this weekend that we just talked about, so that's going to be a good listen. Eyes on the Ring Sunday. Indie Power Rankings just had 2 shows over the last few days, which are worth a listen, so make sure you go back and check those out. Make sure you guys check out Smart Mark Video.
Check the Biff Music interview out, too. Cheap-Plug.
Yeah, make sure you go back. Monday's episode of Biff Music, good talk with him. We talked DDT4, Alpha 1, Evolve, Smash Wrestling, Fourth Gun, everything under the sun with Mr. Biff.
WWE.
So make sure you go back and check that out. Check out smartmarkvideo.com. Bunch of great companies on there. Alpha 1. We got AIW, AAW, C4 Wrestling. Make sure you guys also, if you're more into streaming, you can check out smashwrestling.com/on-demand. $7.49 a month. All the Smash Wrestling that you could want, all the great matches people were talking about on the Raw Alternative stream Monday. You can check that out. And that's not it. AIWarchives.com. You can go back and look back at their history going back to 2005. So many great matches on there. Of course, they need your support. So does Smash Wrestling. So does Indie Wrestling. So make sure you check those out. Check out Smart Mark Video. Check out everything. Pro Wrestling Tees. Highspots.com. ProWrestlingGorilla.com. I don't know how many more plugs I can do. That's a lot of plugs.
With the plugs. Yo, you got something, bro?
I do. You can check out Smash Wrestling on demand, on-demand.smash-wrestling.com. I was at Gold this past weekend, and I will say you guys will want to see that event when it comes out. Candice LeRae on top, and will face Johnny Gargano, her boyfriend, at Smash Wrestling Super Showdown 3 in August, if he's still champion. So that's something to look forward to there. So check that out, $7.49 a month, half the price of a digital download. Smash Wrestling delivering the goods lately. Really recommend checking them out because in 2 weeks, June 6th, they'll be presenting 2 shows, Give Divas a Chance, full women's event, and then Smash Kicks ALS with a main event of Samoa Joe against Chris Hero. So Smash Wrestling, again, delivering the goods and doing it for a great cause. So check them out, smash-wrestling.com for more information. They're actually doing some crazy fundraiser with Chris Hero right now where the more donations you give him, the longer he wrestles. I believe it's like $2,000, and he'll wrestle for 2 hours. So, guys, go raise money for a great cause. Make Chris Hero wrestle. Going down, I believe, the day following Smash Kicks ALS. So that should be a good time. Speaking of Chris Hero, you can check out our interview with him on our YouTube right now, youtube.com/Weekly Wrestling Podcast. A few others available on there as well. Ricochet, the Young Bucks, Kurt Hawkins, Mike Bailey, a bunch of others on there as well. So definitely recommend going and checking those out. ProWrestlingTees.com, like Tom said. And Saturday, we'll be broadcasting live from Progress Press, which is the prelude to the Destiny World Wrestling event happening on the same day at the same venue. We're going to be kind of doing a live preview, talking a little bit about the world of professional wrestling and much more. maybe with the fans, maybe with the stars. You'll never know. So tune in and find out live at 2:30 p.m. Eastern right here on the Elite Podcast Network come Saturday. I believe that's it. Destiny World Wrestling is hosting a great event in Pickering. DestinyWrestling.ca for more information. At Destiny Wrestle on Twitter. I believe that's it plug-wise. Stay tuned to all the other shows on the network, though.
Now, can I donate money? Of course, Smash Wrestling doing some great things with the ALS Foundation. Can I donate money for Chris Hero? Instead of keeping wrestling, can I donate money for him to elbow me in the face?
Do you really want him to do that, though?
I would donate the bucks to super kick me.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think when people go to Japan, they have those dinners that are paid for and they get super kick and chopped? It's all about the experience. You go home with some blood, you have a bruise on your face, you're sore, but you say, you know what, I got elbowed by Chris motherfucking Hero.
That's crazy.
That's just an idea.
Hey, fuck it. Tweet him. Never know. But, ladies and gentlemen...
I need to get my passport, make my way to Canada. That's what I need.
Fuck. Hey, let them come to New York and do the shit. Fuck it. But, again, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter again at WrestlingHeads. I have live coverage, photos, and all that good stuff. PWG coverage going down tomorrow. Can't wait. And to Monday, we'll be back here on WrestlingHeads Radio with the Coastal Boy to talk ladies' night. And, yeah, peace, motherfuckers. And this show was...
Suck it.
And Elite Podcast Network is definitely...
best for business.
Peace.
Fuck you, Sean Rickard. Fuck you.